All right. Hey, what's up, guys? We'll be starting any second now. These guys always start on time, so don't worry about that. We're going to get some updates tonight. We'll see. Hopefully, they're going to tell us what's going on with the audit. I'm excited, guys. We're going to be, we should be live with the voting. You'll see what I hope he's going to go over that now. But, you'll see the utility. If you don't, if he doesn't go over it, just look at the first video on that page that I put in the description, in the link in the description. Watch the first video. It's about a 10-minute video, 11-minute video. And then you'll see what I'm talking about with the utility. What the heck was that? Where am I going here? All right, guys, so that's where we're at. They're going to start right now, any second. They're always right on time. So let's see what happens. That's where we're at. They're going to start right now, any second. They're always right on time. All right, so here we go, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Monday night. I appreciate you guys spending your Monday night here. I know there's a lot of baseball and football going on, so you guys probably are watching that out of the other side of your, I don't know what you call it, maybe your peripheral vision. But welcome, everybody, and we will be getting started here in about 2 minutes. Just giving everybody a chance to hop on. And if you can, just share where you're from, of course, where you're calling from on the Telegram. Just put in there. Forrest Gump. Hello, Forrest Gump. All right, Dallas, Texas. Good. Sebring, Florida. Mexico. Go Blue Jays, Orlando, Florida. Really? Okay, so you're a Blue Jays fan, but you live in Orlando. Interesting. All right. Good luck to you. Ontario, Canada, West Texas, Boynton Beach, Florida, Ireland. Great to have you. Let's see. Stone Mountain, Georgia. There's that Stone Mountain, Georgia again. Yep, there you go. Janice rooting for the Blue Jays. Good luck. I don't have a dog in the hunt this year. So I have to admit, though, and don't hold this against me, but it would be kind of nice to see Seattle win when they haven't been there in like 27 years. And they've never won a World Series ever. So I don't know. Kind of like the underdog, but I don't know if anybody can beat the Dodgers anyway. That's scary. Dodgers are probably going to repeat, but I'm rooting for the other teams. San Diego. Without the Chargers, Robert, that never made sense to me. Why they would move from San Diego to LA? They already got the Rams. I guess they got to have two teams. They're so big. Seems to work over there. I don't know. But I always thought San Diego was an awesome city and for them to keep their Chargers, but it is what it is. I'm sure it's a money thing, right? It's always a money thing. Go Dodgers, right? Okay. No knock on the Dodgers. They're obviously incredible. They're like an all-star team. I think the American League could put up an all-star team and still have trouble with the Dodgers. No kidding. Corpus Christi, Texas. Great to have you. Okay, let's go ahead and get the call started here.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so many of you may have seen, some of you may not have seen a little notice that I put out in Telegram just to kind of get into, we're not going to have any updates tonight. It's just, again, it's all part of the waiting game where we're at. We're in that period. We're early. We're here. And so some of that involves waiting and practicing patience and everything. But I did want to kind of renew some of your spirits a little bit tonight. Maybe talk about a few new things, maybe some new perspectives, maybe get some things from you guys. You guys are often great at, bringing out ideas and maybe things that you can share about your vision. But I'm going to give you my vision of Sosana. I've got the professor here with me. Brian is on vacation all week in Florida this week. So he's having a good time. He still said he would be here Wednesday night because I won't be, but he's planning on being here Wednesday night. But I don't think he's going to make the call the rest of the week. So we'll miss him, but he'll be back. And, you know, I want to get into the story of Sosana, the vision, and then talk about the potential. I want to try to put that all into one Zoom tonight. I hope that you guys find it really helpful. But I'm going to first start out by sharing the screen. And is that coming through okay? Professor, can you see that all right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, this is our website. For those of you who don't know, this is Sosana.io. And it all started back in December of 24 when David Track came to me. He is my partner. He is the founder. I am the co-founder of Sosana, in case you didn't know that already. And yes, I am, Lonnie. We are recording this. So, you know, this is our website. And David did an incredible job. But what happened, this is kind of how it happened. I was literally driving in my car. And David just called me up. It was in the morning. And he goes, buddy, I have the perfect idea for a meme coin. And I thought, man, there's been enough meme coins, right? But I was intrigued. I said, like, okay, what are you so excited about? He said, we're going to call it Sosana. Now, when he said Sosana, I immediately knew, okay, this is obviously a Solana project, right? Okay, so what do you got? He goes, it stands for Shiny Object Syndrome and Nothing Accomplished. Now, immediately I started laughing because I thought, okay, he's going to create some kind of crypto satire out of the problem, the number one problem in crypto, and that's Shiny Object Syndrome. We've all come to realize, if you haven't already, some of you are new to crypto, and I get that, but I want you to understand, if you don't already know, that the biggest problem in crypto right now is Shiny Object Syndrome. And we thought we would create a meme concept out of it that would just be fun. You know, we didn't have this gigantic multi-billion-dollar market cap vision at that time. We just thought this will be a fun meme. We'll share it with our friends, and maybe it'll go viral. Maybe this thing will just really explode. You never know what's going to happen with a meme coin. But we knew we had a winning concept. Why? Because meme coins are also very successful because they relate to people. And we didn't think anything relates to people more in crypto than the number one problem, which is the Shiny Object Syndrome. And the fact that because of that, nothing gets accomplished for most people. The reality is 95 to 98% of people that get into crypto investing, especially if they don't have a lot of experience, in their first year, they probably lose money, right? Or they might get lucky. But most of the time, they're really struggling because of the Shiny Object Syndrome. And that's why we know that it's a big problem for everybody, though. I mean, I've been in crypto since 2015 and heavily since 2017. And I have to admit, on this last run, this last cycle, it has been the most difficult for me to find new quality projects than it's ever been before in my life. And because people can relate to this, we created humor out of it. So initially we thought this will just be a funny meme. It'll go viral. People will relate to it. It'll be great. So we started to what? Emphasize the problem and make a joke out of it. We have this really funny video that if you haven't seen it, go to Sosana.io. This is Rick and Morty cartoon. It's really funny. Go in there and watch it. It's only 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's just a parody, but it really emphasizes what happens to all of us whenever we get into rug pulls or scams or whatever it is that have caused us to struggle in the crypto space. And then the idea really hit me one day. And I remember waking up just thinking, wow, that would be a great idea. And I remember this, and now don't get me wrong, I had actually thought of this idea a couple of years ago. Just it kind of ran through my head, but we hadn't developed it like it is now with the Sosana project, which I'm about to tell you. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I brought to David. We came up with the idea and we started to develop it together. We thought, okay, that's a great idea. Let's develop it. And the more we developed this idea, this utility, we started to realize, you know what? This is going to actually solve the number one problem in crypto, the Shiny Object Syndrome. We believe that people that come to the Sosana community are actually going to be a part of the biggest solution in crypto, which we think is going to make this thing go viral. We think everybody in the Solana ecosystem, all over Solana, and eventually all over crypto, is going to find out about Sosana. We really believe it because of this concept.
I
So
believe it too, man.
we started to get together, we developed it, and what we came up with, first off, is not just a great meme coin, but a solution to what we had created so much humor out of, and that is the Shiny Object Syndrome. So we created what's called a 3% transaction tax. Initially, what that goes toward is 1% of that 3%, a third of it goes to what we call the stability wallet. It means it has everything to do with keeping the token stable. It's in the best interest of our community. Okay. The other 1%, and again, that could be market making, that could be all kinds of ways to make sure that we add value to the liquidity pool, everything we can do to create stability, right? But the other 1% is kind of divided up. It goes towards marketing. Half of it is marketing. The other half of it goes into another utility that I'm going to explain to you in a second. And I'll get back to that. But this third 1%, this is what's revolutionary. If you haven't heard this before, you want to take notes here, because I guarantee you what I'm about to explain to you has never been done in crypto history. Absolutely never been done. And when you come to this website, what you're first going to look at is you're going to think, okay, this is funny, it's hilarious, it's got all this humor. But as you continue to look at this, you're going to realize that there's actually an amazing, incredible utility to this project. And here's what it basically is. That third 1% that I just told you about, it's going to go to a pool that we call the Degen Voter Reward Wallet. That means 1%, and that this goes for this 3% transaction. But each of these 1% actually happen every time there's a buy transaction, a sell transaction, a transfer. Anytime that token moves from one wallet to the next through any of those methods, 1% of that always drops into the Degen Voter Reward Wallet. Now, this is huge. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So we wanted to create what we call a safe haven, where the bigger the community grows, there's what we call safety in numbers. Okay, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And because of that, we get better and better at using this utility I'm about to explain to you. What is this utility? Well, if you hold $500 worth of Solana, you're going to be able to nominate your favorite project on the Solana ecosystem. Because the truth is, there's literally thousands of projects coming out of this shiny object every single day, no exaggeration. Thousands of projects are coming out. I wouldn't even call them projects. Most of them are just garbage. 99+% of them are garbage, okay? Which means that is what fuels that oversupply and not enough demand kind of thing, where even quality projects are not getting noticed because they're drowned out by all the shiny objects, right? So what we wanted to do is we created this community where people in the community, if they hold and at least kind of like an automatic staking mechanism, if they hold $500 worth of Solana, they can nominate their favorite project, because there's actually a lot of really good projects on the Solana network coming out as well, okay? But at the same time, we want to make it so that people who vote for that project are members of the Solana community. They hold at least $50 worth of Solana, not a lot. So then they can come in, connect their wallet to the decentralized app, and vote for those nominated projects. Now, we have put together a 2-week process, okay? Which means, and that actually is starting now, because right now is October 20th, okay? Our goal is to actually have our very first election process 2 weeks from tonight, where we will actually reveal the winner. But here's what happens. There's a 2-week process where everybody that's holding at least $500 worth of Solana can come in, they nominate their favorite project, and then what we do is we choose on Saturday at 7 p.m. during that 2-week period. At the end of that 2-week period, it's Saturday at 7 p.m. We actually reveal to the community the 25 projects that have come out using, it's kind of like an algorithm. It is a proprietary process that we can't absolutely share with the community, but one thing I can tell you that's extremely important is the integrity of the decentralization of it is intact, because me, David, and nobody in the team has anything to do with choosing any of these 25 nominated projects. We do not make those decisions, but we set in place so that the community can nominate 25 projects that will be revealed at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. So if you have $50 in Solana, you're going to be able to log into the DApp, not this coming Saturday, but a week from this coming Saturday. Okay, that's our goal. You're going to get in there and you're going to vote for your favorite project that you see that's nominated out of those 25 projects. Now, out of our thousands of members that we have right now, okay, somewhere, I think there's what, 1,400 holders somewhere in there right now. Out of those people, they are going to choose what they think is the most quality project. Because what is the number goal? If you think about it in crypto, we know the number one problem is shiny object syndrome. Okay. And that fights against the number one goal of everybody in crypto. And that is number one, they want to find quality projects and they want to find them at the soonest possible time. Because everybody that knows anything about investing is that the people who make the most
True that,
money
dude.
in crypto are the ones who see it
Get
before
in early.
everyone else does. That's the goal.
You gotta
And what's
get in
beautiful
early,
about
man.
the Sosana community as we put this voting mechanism in place is that these 25 nominated projects that are chosen, okay, will actually be forged through an election process to choose the number one project. So the goal of everybody, if you're in there, is to nominate the most quality project, but also vote for the most quality project, because then it gives everybody a chance to exponentially increase their odds of finding quality projects. Now, I could stop right there and say that's the end of it. We have this great meme coin. We're going to have an election every 2 weeks, and you're going to want to be a part of the community because something new happens every 2 weeks. It's exciting. You can find and build your portfolio with potentially much more quality projects where there's safety in numbers. The whole community has the same goal, one purpose, and that is to find them. Find that quality project. But here's where the magic comes in, because if you're voting from Saturday to Monday, there's a 48-hour period where you're going to be able to vote for that project that you think is the most quality project that's been nominated out of those 25 projects. Now, you're going to take those 25 projects and you're going to start doing the research and you're going to try to find the most quality one. You're going to narrow it down to just a few. And then you're going to make a decision and vote. Now, here's what's really neat. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to reveal the token that won the vote. So we're going to show a top 10. We're going to show all the votes that each project received. And everybody in that community, in our community, at 7 p.m. Eastern Monday night is going to know which token won the vote. Now, here's where the magic happens. Listen to this. Remember that DGen voter wallet I told you about, that
Guys,
reward
pay
wallet?
attention, man.
Remember, for 2 weeks,
This
it's
is
been
important.
collecting every single transaction, 1% over and over and over. We're going to take that voter reward wallet and we're going to buy the token that the community voted for. So the winning token is going to be actually purchased through that DGen voter wallet. So it's going to go onto that decentralized exchange. It's going to buy the winning token. And not only that, folks, it's going to take those tokens that it purchases and it's going to airdrop those tokens to all the people who voted for that token. So if you're one of those lucky people that voted for the token that won the election, you're going to get airdropped an amazing reward. Now think about this concept and how this can work synergistically. It's amazing. Because what you have is you've gamed the concept. You've made it fun for everybody to come together and solve the number one problem in crypto, which is shiny object syndrome. And you've given everybody a chance to find quality projects. This actually brings order to the chaos. It's amazing. And it's going to make it so that everybody's going to want to come back every 2 weeks and go through this process over and over and over. I've said this so many times that Sosana is so much more than just a token. Because when you get into every other, whether it be a meme coin project, a technology, I don't care what kind of project it is, what category it fits in. The reason why you get that you get involved with those crypto projects is why? To buy the token. Because you hope the token or the coin, if it's a layer one, you hope that it's going to go up in price from the time you bought it, and that at some point you're going to sell it for a profit, and then you're going to go look for another project, right? Especially nowadays. That's really the whole crypto game, isn't it? That is so much different than what we're doing here at Sosana. Why? Because number one, we're not competing with anyone. We're actually uplifting the quality projects and throwing out the shiny objects. We're giving our community a chance to find quality projects and get paid an amazing reward for doing it. How amazing is the potential of this reward? I'm going to kind of share with you what the possibilities are when we're talking about this DGen voter
Watch
bonus
this,
reward
guys.
wallet and what can happen.
This is
Okay?
big, man.
But also, before I do that, I want you to think about this.
This is big,
There's
guys.
something else that occurs. You might be thinking so far, wow, what an amazing concept. I could use Sosana to help me find quality projects and be a part of this community. And if I pick the winning token, I can get airdrop that token from the DGen voter bonus reward wallet and actually build my portfolio for free in that case if I win the election, if I pick the winning token, right? But there's something that happens. There's a kind of synergy that happens that makes it even better. Listen to this. Let's say you're one of those people that didn't vote for the winning token and you're still wanting to know which token won the vote. So you look at it, you take a look at the DGen voter bonus wallet, and you make a decision. Because at some point, we believe there's going to be what I call a tipping point. What do I mean by that? Well, if you voted for the winning token, obviously you've earned a reward. Congratulations. You just won a reward that's never been paid out in crypto history. And we believe those rewards are going to be some of the largest rewards ever paid in crypto history. Why? Because not only are we going to give you the value of that DGen voter bonus wallet per winner, right? Which could be $300, $500, $1,000, whatever. And you only had to have $50 in Solana to earn it. It's amazing. It's never happened in crypto. But on top of that, that token, if it's a winning token, if it's a winning project, if it's a successful quality project, it could go up another 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x, who knows? But all the while, you're staying a part of the Solana solution, and you're helping us find quality projects and giving you a chance to win and win these rewards in the process. But above and beyond that, remember, the token that wins the vote is revealed at 7 p.m. However, there's a 1 hour window where at 8 p.m., the DGen voter bonus wallet is going to go on to the DEX and buy the winning token. Now, if you didn't vote for the winning token, and you know what the winning token is because you connected to the DApp and you can see it, and you're the only one you and everybody else that's connected are the only ones who know this, what might you do before the DGen voter bonus buys the token? You might want to consider, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but you might want to consider adding that token to your portfolio if you think the conditions are right. And here's what the conditions are. I believe that at some point, we believe this, the people who have taken up this vision, and I'm not the only one, believe me, there are hundreds of people now that have agreed in this vision that there's going to be a tipping point. The tipping point means that at some point the community is going to vote for a particular project that's just a low enough market cap that they consider as a quality project. No, this isn't some pump and dump scheme. This is a community looking for quality projects, right? And every project that Solana votes for is going to be better off when we find them than they were before we found them. Why? Because the DGen voter bonus is going to buy their project, right? And it's going to distribute it out to the people who voted for it, which are pretty excited about the project. But at the same time, we believe that if the right project gets chosen, and the DGen wallet, remember, the bigger the community, the more transactions, the bigger this wallet's going to get. So at some point, we believe this is going to go viral. And when it does, that DGen voter bonus wallet is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, let's just say it has $100,000 in it or $1 million in it. I don't know when that tipping point is. The community can make that decision. We can't give you financial advice. We can't tell you there's some kind of guaranteed way that you're going to make money, but we believe there's going to come a time, because it just makes common sense, that as people continue to come back every 2 weeks and vote and participate and invite others that want to grow our community for the same process, that tipping point is going to be so big that it's going to move the market of a particular token. I mean, what if it's $1 million in the DGen voter bonus wallet and it buys a market cap that's $1 million? Do you realize $1 million market cap is a perceived value of a particular token project? It doesn't mean it has $1 million in it. It doesn't mean that it's worth $1 million. It means that the perceived value is $1 million per token, or not per token, but the market cap, for the market cap. And usually token prices are very low. When is the last time, let me just ask you a question. When is the last time you looked at a project with $1 million market cap, or even a $10 million market cap, where someone came in and purchased $1 million worth of that token? When's the last time you ever saw that happen? And can you imagine the kind of value it's going to bring and how much it's going to raise potentially the price of that project? And if you know that's about to happen in an hour, you might consider adding that project to your portfolio before it happens. Now, again, this is going to be a process. We're not going to give you any advice, tell you whether you should or shouldn't, but you're going to make a decision. And when you make that decision, it's going to give you an opportunity to potentially make money, even if you didn't vote for the winning token. So you can see that the goal of Solana is not only to throw out the shiny objects and uplift the quality projects and eliminate the shiny object syndrome, right? To try and solve that problem. But we are going to give you an opportunity to get rewarded in a way that's never happened in the crypto space in history. And that's the Sosana vision. Now, to give you an idea of what the potential is, I'm going to take you to what I consider the top, well, not what I consider, but what the coin market cap considers the top meme coin projects out there. Now, we believe that because of this concept, that the bigger it gets, we believe there's going to be amazing stories that come out of this, success stories of people that, whether they purchased the winning token or voted for the winning token, there's going to be amazing rewards. We believe it's going to go viral and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we believe because of that concept that this is a multi-billion-dollar project in the making right now. And we are still in its infancy. We have not, folks, if you're listening to me right now and you didn't hear, you've never heard of Sosana before, you're listening to me at a time before we've even launched the utility. And on top of that, we have an affiliate plan that if you become an affiliate, which is going to come, it's going to come very, very much in the same time. Within the next 2 weeks, we're expecting both of these utilities to come out, right? And if you're a part of the affiliate plan, you're even going to be able to vote for pre-launch projects. That's projects that haven't even been on the live token market before. They're brand new. There's no place to find, or there's no way to find a project earlier than at pre-launch. And these pre-launch projects are going to come into our affiliate community. They're going to introduce themselves, but they must go through a strict KYC process before they can even introduce themselves to our Sosana community. Think about that. That means, again, we're creating that safety for our community so that they can find these projects before everyone else does and vote for these projects. That's going to be once a month. And the voter pool, the reward pool that comes from that is going to be that half of that 1%, which I talked about was split up into marketing. And I told you there was another utility. That's the pre-launch vote. So I'm talking about a live vote concept that we have, which I just explained to you. And then I'm talking about a pre-launch voting concept where the people who vote for the winning pre-launch token are actually rewarded in Solana coins, who can take those Solana coins and buy those pre-launch tokens if they decide they're interested in it, right? A whole nother reward process and a whole nother way to find new projects. Again, trying to get rid of the shiny object syndrome, trying to help people, give them the best possible chance to build their portfolio with quality projects. Okay, so I just finished that part. Now, why are we looking at the meme page right now? The reason why is because I want to show you what the potential is if something were to happen and we're successful. Like if we get to a place where we're pretty successful, let's just say initially just $139 million market cap, which I'm going to pull out Peanut the Squirrel. I actually haven't looked at this in a long time. I actually bought Peanut the Squirrel myself a long time ago and got really lucky with it. But I want to show you right now, we have a pretty small market cap of just 139 million, right? But take a look at the volume that's occurred in just a small $139 million market cap. We're talking $33 million, almost about a little over $33.5 million in volume that's happened just over the last 24 hours. Now, remember, we were talking about a reward pool, right? So let's, again, this, and before I really get too deep into the specific numbers of this, because I'm going to pull up a calculator and show you guys what's possible. This is not financial advice. This is not a guarantee of you making income. That's not the point of this. This is just to show you if this happens, then logically that happens, right? If it happens. So if Sosana were to get to, let's just say where Peanut the Squirrel is, $139 million market cap. I think we're going to be a multi-billion-dollar market cap, but let's just say 139 million. And we had a daily volume of 33.5 million. Let's do the math on that. 33.5 million, okay, times 14. Where did I get that? Because it's a 2-week process. That's $469 million over a 2-week process. If you take 1% of that, 0.01, that means we're going to have $4.6 million sitting in the DGen voter reward wallet, which is going to go towards what? Purchasing the token that the community voted for. Remember, we're not making any decisions here. Okay, this isn't a corporate decision. This is a community decision.
Crazy.
This is about decentralized of a reward concept as you can create, because you guys are going to be the ones who make the decision on what the winning token project is. And we're talking about a fairly small project. You know, Peanut the Squirrel is not a huge project. It's actually been as high as $2.5 billion market cap. Can you believe that? And yet it's sitting at 139 million market cap, and it's bringing in over $33 million a day. And if we, if we could get to that, if you can realistically see us getting there, what if the community votes for a project and the DGen voter bonus wallet buys that project, $4.69 million worth of that project? What's it going to do to that project that it buys? Do you think that people in their community you know what I'm going to do? This is really funny. I told you guys this last week. I'm going to go into that community. I'm going to go to their Telegram, and I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to put my hands back behind my head, and I'm just going to put my feet up. I'm going to watch. I'm going to be like, man, let's just watch what this Telegram community does when this DGen voter bonus wallet comes in and buys their token. It's going to be unbelievable, right? And at the same time, I'm going to watch all the people in Solana that get their reward, whatever it may be. I don't care, whatever it is. I don't know if it's 1,000 voters, 10,000 voters. I don't know what it is, but whatever number of voters it is that chose the winning token, they're all going to get an equal share, an equal piece of this $4.6 million worth of that winning token project, which is, folks, not just money, a potential growing asset. Why? Because we're trying to vote for quality projects. This isn't some pump and dump channel where we're trying to just, hey, folks, in about 60 seconds, we're going to announce a contract. Everybody go buy it. And then everybody just dumps. No, that's not the point. The purpose of this is to reward our community for finding quality projects. So you're going to get rewarded a project, a token from that project for voting for that project. It's amazing, right? Think about that. If this has never been done in crypto history, we believe we're about to make history, and we think it's going to happen just a couple weeks from now. It's going to be amazing. And so your timing is unbelievable right now. But just think about this concept. Think about what could potentially happen, because I told you, all I'm bringing up is the idea of potentially, not guaranteed, but potentially creating wealth by building a portfolio on the Solana network, participating in a voting and election process. And I haven't even talked about the token yet. I haven't even talked about what the potential of the token is. And you know what? That's what every crypto project does. That's all they do, is they talk about what is the potential if you buy our token now. Where could it be later, months from now, years from now? Where could it be? Well, let's get into that a little bit. I just told you how amazing this reward concept is and why it is, obviously, if you've got a pulse and you've been in crypto for longer than a few months, I mean, I've talked to people that have never been in crypto that see this. They see the vision of this very, very easily, okay? You know that if we can fulfill, and it's just a matter of time, I say it's inevitable, once we bring out the voting and reward mechanism and nominating mechanism, and on top of that, an affiliate plan, which I don't have time to get into tonight. Once we bring those two things out, we believe this thing's going to go nuts. What is the potential? Well, let's talk about it. How many tokens are actually in the Solana supply? 88,888,888, right? Okay. Think about it. That's the total supply. But you know, the total supply won't be out for 5 years. It's going to take 5 years. As a matter of fact, longer than that, because there's a 6-month cliff period, which means no tokens are coming out in circulation except what's been happening with the airdrop from version 1, which I won't get into. You can talk to the person who referred you about this if you don't know. But there's 88.8 and change million tokens. Now, let's just start there. Let's just say that's where we're at. Okay. Well, if we get to where Peanut the Squirrel is, that's 139 million. Okay. 139 million market cap. Okay. Divided by 88 million and change, which is not what's in circulation, but let's just say it is. You're looking at a token price of $1.56. That's pretty cool. I mean, where are we at right now? About 27 cents, I think. That's pretty neat, right? But what's actually in circulation, to my knowledge, I believe there's somewhere between 15 and change, maybe somewhere between 15 and 17 million that are in circulation right now. So let's just take 17 million. Okay. Let's take that market cap, 139 million, which I think we can reach pretty quickly. Again, not a guarantee, but just saying if we did, this is what would happen. Not financial advice, right? But we took that divided by 17 million, which I think is actually the real circulation. You're looking at over $8. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay. Let's take a look at the market though. Let's kind of look at, if you think we can become a multi-billion-dollar project, how many of you in Telegram believe? Just let me know if you think that we can reach $1 billion market cap. Does anybody out in Telegram think we can get there? Okay, I know what Lori thinks. I knew that. All right, you do. Yep. How many of you? If you do, if you think so, go to Telegram and tell me that you think so. Multi-billions, right? But let's just say $1 billion. Say $1 billion market cap. I'm going to try to find a project that's close to $1 billion. Let's say it's SPX. Let's just go to Trump. Okay, I'm not trying to get political here, but the Trump token, as really small as it is, I mean, not small, as big as it is, because you're looking at 632,000 holders, right? Crazy. $1.19 billion market cap. Folks, we're not going to need near that many holders to be at $1 billion market cap, especially with as actively participating as this community will be. I believe, and you guys tell me if this makes sense to you, do you believe our community is going to be pretty active, being the fact that they're all voting? That they're all, a lot of nominations coming in. Everybody's going to want to be voting. Is there anybody that's going to be part of our community that's not going to want to at least vote? And if so, why? Why would anybody be here if they weren't at least going to vote? So I think we're going to be the most active crypto community in history, because just about, I know there's always exceptions, right? But just about everybody in our community is going to be voting, which makes them active. If you're voting, you're active, which means you're researching projects, you're taking a look, and you're helping us come together to find the most quality project every 2 weeks. And who's going to leave that community? Can you think of a reason why people would leave? If people go to, how many people went to Trump? I think it got to, does anybody know what the peak volume, or not volume, but the peak market cap of Trump was? Anybody know? If you look it up, I think you're looking at, it was at a $45 price, which was 9 times. It was probably about somewhere between 12 and $13 billion market cap, I think. I'm just going to guess. Let's just say that's what it was. Okay. That kind of market cap. And look how far down it's been. Isn't it amazing that this chart has been pretty flat? Not dead, but flat. And yet they did $249 million in the last 24 hours in just volume. Can you imagine? $249 million in the last 24 hours in just buys and sells and maybe a few transfers. Wow. Unbelievable. That means $2.49 million of that's 1% of that would be going into the DGen voter reward wallet every single day, which would add up to a lot. And you can only imagine what that would do to a token project if the community decided to vote for that project, right? Unbelievable. And that just kind of gives you an idea of where what the potential is in terms of where we're headed. Well, let's talk about the token price. Where would the token price be? Okay, let's pull that up. Where would the token price be at say a 1.19 billion market cap? Again, not a guarantee. That's not the point. Is that right? No, that's not right. Hold on. There we go. Okay. 1.19 billion. And let's just say 17 million. Let's say by that time we've got 30 million in circulation. Okay. 30 million. Almost a nearly $40 token already. And I believe we can get there, folks. I believe this community, when we launch this thing, when we launch the affiliate plan and this voting mechanism, and we've been voting and voting, and there's been rewards going out over and over and over. Again, if you were a part of Trump and you bought Trump when you were all excited about it, Trump was just recently elected. You decided, I'm so excited about the meme coin. This is so great. It got to $45. And what'd you do? You sold it, right? Everybody else sold it. If you didn't sell it, you're still holding on to it, sucker. But the reality is you probably sold it, right? And what'd you do after you sold it? You probably left that community and went and looked for another project, didn't you? Let me ask you a question. I don't care when you got Solana, whether you bought it at a penny or you bought it at $39 or you bought it at $100. Why would you ever leave the Solana community when every 2 weeks and eventually every week, when we have all this volume coming in, we're going to have a whole new election process. People are going to want to come every week or 2 weeks. Everybody's going to come back and they're going to want to know what's next. How big is that DGen voter wallet this week? Which token project did they choose? Amazing, right? Because everybody's going to want to continue to come back over and over and over every 2 weeks, and then eventually every week, to go through the election process so that they can help forge those nominated projects. into what we believe is the most quality project. And can you see even communities, because we don't really compete with anybody. There's nobody doing what we're doing, first of all. But second of all, our goal is to uplift other projects. We're not trying to hurt other projects. We're trying to help them. We believe we can save the whole Solana ecosystem, because this kind of process is going to create a whole new category in crypto. Do you realize that? Think about it. You know, the most successful crypto projects are the ones that solve problems. We're solving the number 1 problem for crypto investors, in our opinion. In our opinion. Now, you've got to decide if you think that's possible. Okay. I mean, if we get to, let's kind of take a look at Pepe. I love to bring them up. Okay. Pepe's around 3 billion. Pepe's highest peak was over $9 billion in volume. What does Pepe offer to the marketplace besides a token?
Nothing.
Do they offer anything? Is there any utility to Pepe?
I don't
Pepe,
think
what
so,
is
man.
Pepe? Pepe's this
Just-
really funny little character. And you know, every time I pulled up this website, nothing even comes up. But let's see what comes up. Nope, still not even coming up. I don't know what happened to this project. Okay. But it's still sitting at 3 billion. Okay. And its peak was 9 billion. Now, if you were to look at us,
Crazy,
let's just
man.
put all of our tokens in circulation. Let's just say that. I don't think it's going to take that long. But let's just put 5 years down the road. I'm not saying it's going to be, but let's just say you take 5 billion, right? All 88 million in circulation. Let's take a $9 billion market cap divided by all of our tokens, which I don't think will still be in circulation, but what if they are? That's $101 Solana token, which in my opinion, I believe is very realistic. Now, if I told you my belief is that it's probable, I really think it's probable. I don't think it's just possible. I think it's probable. I think because people are going to come back to this community and love it and not stop talking about it, we're going to have success stories like this. And again, just a small example, potential prediction. Not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying I believe it's possible. Someone's going to come in and say, man, I bought $50 worth of Solana just so I could vote. They voted for a winning token project. They got rewarded that project. Let's just say it was $500 worth of whatever token that they voted for. And that $500, because they happened to pick a really good project, turned into $5,000, turned into maybe even $50,000. Who knows? I'm just saying, what if? But I think we're going to have so many amazing stories that go viral in the crypto industry that I think everyone is going to find out about Solana.
I think
I
so
believe
too,
it.
man.
I think that our community is going to be the most fun that any crypto community has ever had in crypto history because of the voting and reward process. And then at the same time, so far above and beyond where this token is, where it's at. If you look at where it's at right now, I mean, if you think about it, I can't remember. I'm not even looking at a chart, but if someone could tell me, where is the price right now? 26 cents? Is that where we're at?
26.
Somewhere around 26. Okay. We're at like 26 cents right now. Just think about the potential of that, folks. I'm going to leave that up to you, though. I'm not going to sit here and give you any guarantees of where we're headed. I just showed you some what if scenarios, and now I just want to kind of open it up for some questions. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Also, I can bring you out, Professor. Do you have anything you want to add to what I've shared with them tonight?
How about you do any Q&A, and then if we have some time,
Yeah.
I would love to go back to the screen sharing when you get a chance.
Absolutely. If you have a question, go to our Telegram right now and ask your question. Is there anybody out there that has a question that's in our Telegram right now? I'm looking for it. Yeah, Keith, you made an excellent point with my example of the $100 potential is if all 88 million Solana tokens are in circulation. That's right. That is correct. And it won't happen for 5 years. There's a slow process that we're going to be bringing out these tokens into circulation, adding them to our liquidity pool. Wow, no questions. Amazing. I must have done a pretty thorough job. This is a first. I don't think I've ever done anything where I didn't have at least some questions. Anybody out there? Any questions? I hope this was really helpful to you guys tonight. If it didn't just give you the vision, it renewed your vision of what's possible and where we're headed, and how fortunate I believe that we are to be here right now before everything happens, because the voting concept hasn't even happened yet, right? The affiliate has not even come out. Pouring gas on the fire. Imagine paying people Solana tokens, giving them an opportunity to earn Solana just for sharing this project, this affiliate plan. Why? Because inside the affiliate plan, there's going to be digital products. We're going to educate the community. Why? We think about it. We want everybody in the Sosana community to be educated on how to stay away from being Sosana, to stay away from being scammed, from being rug pulled. Number one, how to find quality projects. We're going to educate you. How to avoid scams. We're going to give you that education. How to participate in a community where you can vote for pre-launch projects. Folks, you got to be a member of the affiliate plan just to vote for pre-launch projects. Who's not going to want to vote for pre-launch projects? Everybody. So everybody that we believe comes into Sosana is also going to be want to be a member of the affiliate plan as well. Okay. He asked me to go over stacking real quick. Some confusion there about stacking people up in the same household. Okay. Folks, it's not about allowing other household members to come in and be a part of the voting process. So let's say you are the husband or the wife of a family and you've got kids living at home that are 18 and over and you want them to be part of this, right? That's what you want. Okay. Then what you can do is you can enroll them into the affiliate plan so that they can go through the KYC process. You might even want to enroll those as what you would call non-affiliates, because as non-affiliates, they can still participate in all the processes. They can get access to the education information. They just can't earn income, okay? So you might bring them in that way. But however you bring them, maybe you bring them in as affiliates because they do sincerely want to refer their friends. That's okay. What's wrong with stacking is when you enroll another position that's still considered a profit center for you, which means it's not just a family member, but it's also a profit center where you plan on putting everybody else that you refer after you referred that position underneath it so that you can double dip the compensation plan so that you're not just earning off of those 3 levels, but you're giving yourself an additional level. That's stacking. Okay. And that is absolutely not tolerated. As you know, there's only 3 levels of pay, and you guys can learn about that more. I would refer you to Brian's napkin presentation, the long version, if you want to understand the details of that compensation, because that's not what I'm going to go into tonight. There's a few things about that. Okay, Brian is asking, could you post marketing materials, banners, ads, pics, etc., where we can use to promote through email and websites? Okay, yeah, that stuff is coming. That is really David's category. That's something that he will be developing and he will bring out for sure. It's just not ready yet, but thanks for asking. You guys can, if you don't know this already, you can enroll for free right now, and you can also pre-enroll people for free to get positioned for what's to come as well. Let's see. Dawn is asking, what information will you give us about the winning project, like current price and market cap? Also, will all the winning projects be able to be purchased with Solana and through the Phantom wallet? Yes. Okay, so first off, you're going to be able to find that information yourself because we're going to give you links to those projects whenever you go through the nominations. So when you're looking at all 25 nominations, you're going to be clicking on contracts. You're going to be going to the deck screener. You're going to be able to obtain that information, like what is their website? What is their market cap? What is the price? Now, market caps are not always accurate when you look at deck screener. So be careful, because a lot of times deck screener will reflect what we call the fully diluted market cap, which means if every token was in circulation, what would the market cap be? And as a matter of fact, that's even happening with the Sosana project right now. If you look at our market cap on deck screener, it will actually tell you something that's not accurate, because it's assuming that all of the tokens are in circulation right now. Okay, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Can someone tell me, Professor, what is the market cap?
23 million. It shows.
It says it's 20. Okay, it says 23 million, folks. It's not even close. It's not even close to 23 million, because right now all 88 million and change tokens are not out in circulation. But deck screener's assuming that because we haven't given it the updated information yet. That is all coming, and a lot of people are, I know, man, I believe it's testing your patience, because a lot of you are like, man, when are you going to get that information out? Trust me, folks, we want to get it done as soon as possible. We're finishing the airdrop, which will finish what's actually out in circulation. When we finish that airdrop, it's going to have an actual number for our actual circulation that we need to be able to give deck screener. And then from that point, deck screener can adapt to what our circulation is based on what we add to the liquidity pool during that 5-year process. Okay, but it's not accurate right now. So I just want you guys to know that our actual real market cap is probably somewhere more like around 4 or 5 million, I think. I'm just estimating, but it's something like that. So it's extremely, extremely low right now, just for your information. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop this recording and just continue to answer any
Recording
more
stopped.
questions for the next few minutes before we conclude the call. Let me check and see, are there any other questions here? Are you going to have a class for us to help us know a good token company to nominate? You know, that's a great idea. What we're going to do is we are going to have education and information videos, kind of tutorials that show you how to find quality projects. So the answer is yes. You're going to get educated on that, and that will be part of our education and part of the digital information that you're going to get through the affiliate plan. So great question. Any other questions for anybody out there?
No.
Anything at all? All right. Anything you want to add, Professor?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind going back to your screen share, bringing back up the calculator, where you had the, if maybe perhaps all the disclaimers, if we ever got to $100 or
Right.
so.
Mhm.
If you could bring that up, and then we're going to go to CoinMarketCap too. So that I think it was at $101. Could you put $101 in that calculator real quick?
Yeah, let me find that market cap.
You know,
picture here.
one of the things that one of the ways that I see Solana is I see Solana as my Bitcoin. So some of you've heard this before. My first purchase of Bitcoin was way back in August of 2014, $515 a Bitcoin. Now, Mark, I'm gonna need you.
Yep.
That you got the screen share. Could you take the 101? So here's the assumption we're making. Obviously, nobody can promise any price performance, but if we ever got to 101, based on where we are now, so divide that, if you would, by 26 cents. We're roughly 26 cents now. Okay, so now what that number is telling us is at our current level of 26 cents. So let's say somebody buys Solana for 26 cents and they hold on to that amount of Solana that they bought until it gets to 101. Okay, that would mean that Solana would have a growth factor of 388 times. So if you take $1, and $1 would now be worth $388. You take $10, it'd be worth 3,800 and some change. You take what did you do? You just did 10
Took it times 10.
Okay, all right. Now imagine if over time a person has $100 worth, $1,000 worth, maybe even more. One of the things, Mark, that my daughter, who's at home, she's 18. She recently graduated high school. She's ready, getting ready next semester to start school, but she'll have a little part-time gig. She's going to be dollar cost averaging. She's going to be buying some Solana every paycheck, a little bit of Solana, a little bit of Solana, building that up. Now, let me tell you why I mentioned that. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin real quickly. Can we bring up the price of Bitcoin? 110,000. Can we just put that in there? 110,000. So let's go back. August of 2014. I bought it for 515. Divide it by 515 if you would. So in 11 years, and of course everybody knows about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has grown by a growth factor since I bought it of 213 times. Okay. And everybody knows about Bitcoin, even if they don't know about all the other coins out there. They've heard of Bitcoin. Bitcoin in the last 11 years has grown by a growth factor of 213 times. However, if we get to 101 in that example, and if it took us 5 years to get there, based on the current levels, we would have far outpaced the growth factor of Bitcoin. We don't have to get to $100,000. 26 cents to 101 would be a growth factor of 388 times. Now, that's one thing I want us to get. It's just where we are and where we could be, because I didn't know what Bitcoin was going to be when I got it for 515. Because when it went from 515 down to 400, 300, 200, I think it got down to about 166. Over 18 months, all it did was go down. If I knew then what I know now, I would have been buying more and more and more and more and more. I didn't. Okay. So I don't want us to make that same mistake that I made way back then. But let's go back real quickly, Mark, to the regular coin market cap, we've got the large caps. Because this is how I'm seeing Solana. So one, I'm seeing Solana as my Bitcoin. I believe that over the next few years, by being a token holder of Solana, that I could experience a higher growth rate than what I would have with Bitcoin. Let's take a look at some of these others. Bring your calculator up if you would, and let's make sure we can show price. Let's put in Ethereum. Right now, Ethereum is at 39.49. Let's put that in. Buddy of mine first bought Ethereum divided by 8. He bought it at $8. Okay, so Ethereum from the time he bought it at 8 has had a growth factor of 493. Let's do BNB. 1,095. I remember when that was $8. So let's divide that by 8. Okay, it's up a growth factor of 136. So far what we've seen is Bitcoin has had a growth factor since I bought it of 213. Ethereum, since my buddy bought it, of 400 and something. BNB 136. So here's how I'm seeing Solana. One, I'm seeing being a token holder with the potential over time, maybe perhaps, can't promise this, all my disclaimers, of maybe outpacing something like Bitcoin from a growth factor rate. You don't have to get to 100,000. We get to 101 based on where we are now, we would have outperformed Bitcoin at least over the last 11 years since I bought Bitcoin. Two, by every 2 weeks when the voting comes, we get to add new projects to our portfolio. So I know that there's going to be 25 projects in there. All right. I'm going to vote for one. I can only vote for one. There's a good shot I won't win. And that's okay. Because when will I win? At 7 p.m. when I find out what the winning project was. Because Solana's not buying it until 8 p.m. So every 2 weeks, I have an option, which I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to front run every single project, even if I wind up winning, because I want to be in there before Solana makes his purchase. One. Two, I want to be one of the first Solaniacs that make a purchase, because there's going to be a bunch of Solaniacs over time that's going to realize every 2 weeks and eventually maybe even every week, while we want to be camped out at 7 p.m. New York time to add to our portfolio. Folks, when they did this in Solana 1.0, Shift.ai, I think was the winning project. And I think it had a market cap of something like 100,000. And it was just the voter wallet wasn't that big. It was like $4,000. And from the time that 7 p.m. was to the time that Solana made the purchase, Shift.ai in that one bar that Solana made the purchase went up by 35%. Now, nobody can say that's going to happen. And certainly I'm not looking to pump and dump. I'm looking to pump and hodl. But to be able to add another token to my portfolio in hopes that over time, as we add and add and add and add and add, you know, this one maybe does it 10 times, and this one maybe does it 50 times, and you know, this one maybe we wind up just kind of being at a break even, what have you. But over time, can you see how you and your family can have your own mutual fund type of portfolio? That's why I'm here with Solana. Back to you.
That is a great perspective, Professor. I really appreciate that. And that really gets into, how do you know at 7 p.m. if it's an opportunity? You have to decide that. You've got to look at the market cap, you've got to look at the DGen wallet and see, are we at that tipping point or not? And some of you are going to buy it and you may not make money right away. It may just be, but that's why I always emphasize, really look at the quality of the project and decide, is this something I would want, even if there wasn't a DGen wallet? If you think that if you have, maybe you've got a question like, the DGen wallet's full of, and by the way, someone asked a good question. How much is in the DGen pool right now? Excellent question. I don't know the exact number right now because it's sitting in the Radium pool. We showed that. David revealed it a while back. What was that, about 3 weeks ago? And it was around 35,000 in Solana sitting in there at the time, about 3 weeks ago, something like that. But what that is now, I don't know, because the value of Solana dropped too, right? So I don't know the exact number. I just know that it continues to grow little by little. Right now, our volume is low. We're at a place right now where, again, this is before everything happens. So most people are in waiting right now. I mean, let's face it. The reality is, you look around the community, even the most zealous people are sitting and waiting for the voting mechanism to launch, waiting for the affiliate plan to launch. They're just waiting. Yep. They feel like they need to wait. It's just their mindset, it's their mentality. And that's fine, because we know it's inevitable that it's all going to come to fruition. It's all going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But that's where we're at right now. So great question. But as far as whether it's a winning opportunity, again, this has to be your decision. We can't give you advice on that. We can't tell you. And I can tell you that me, David, Brian, the dev team, nobody that's officially affiliated with Solana Corporate even participates in that process. We don't buy the token. We don't vote for tokens. We don't have anything to do with that, because it would be a conflict of interest. We don't want anyone to be able to accuse us of, oh, you knew what was going to happen and you took advantage. No, we have nothing to do with it. Okay. And so that's a really important part of the process for us. But I just say that just to help you guys understand that the goal here is to create this opportunity for our community. And we try to stay as far away from it as possible, to where we don't even know the outcome. I can tell you, I have no idea what the outcome is any more than you do when it comes to the voting process. I will not know who's going to win that until it's revealed. So that's kind of the process. The only people that might know, and David, believe it or not, is already trying to set it up to where he won't know. But I think he's probably the only person that could if he chose to. But I can tell you right now, we have made a decision not to have anything to do with that process. So really important stuff. Great questions tonight. Thanks a lot for coming out, Professor. I always appreciate you, brother. And all of you people that came to this call, I hope that you either learned something new or you renewed your vision tonight. And I hope that you found this helpful. And we will see you on the call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. We will see you there. See y'all later.
All right, guys, that was awesome, man. Awesome, man. I hope you guys understand now how the utility is going to work. All right, it's going to be big. Hey, guys, if you want to watch another video, if you want to join Solana, the link is in the chat. I'll put it below the video. And you could just go there now and look at the video. There's two videos on the page. Look at the top video that goes over the same thing again with the how the utility works. Anyway, guys, we'll be live tomorrow 9 a.m. Right, for some trading like we always do. And then tomorrow night we'll be live again for the Solana call. I might be trading tomorrow in the afternoon too at 3 p.m. for the power hour. So with that, guys, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thanks for stopping by, man. God bless you guys. Okay, have a great night, guys. Stay safe. And cheers, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers, guys.